This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a group dedicated to ensuring native tree species flourish is getting a cash boost. A 2.7 billion year old rock has been found in Wanaka, more than 5 times older than the previous record holder. And an icon for Dunedin's bookworms is closing down after 3 decades selling second-hand books. Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi o te ahiahi nei, kia ora. I'm Simon Anderson. Ensuring native species have room to breathe is the aim of the Central Otago Wilding Conifer Control Group. Their job is set to become easier thanks to an increase in government funding.
The Central Otago Wilding Conifer Control Group says if unchecked, wilding pines could easily take over the area.
In Central Otago in particular, we've got big wide open landscapes, lots of tussock grasslands, and that pine seed really takes hold and grows and can grow up so that we've end up the ultimate worst case disaster is having pine forests all over our high country landscape.
The group looks after wilding pines, also known as wilding conifers, and has been operating in Central Otago for 7 years. The group's manager says there is still a lot of work to do, and receiving more than $1 million from the government will help.
Funding from the government is no longer our challenge, the hearts and minds are our challenge. Landowners are a very key part of our program, and without the landowner support and the community support, we're not going anywhere.
The issue of foreign trees taking over isn't a new one, and has been around since European settlers arrived. Robin Piper says the introduced species found very favourable growing conditions and quickly took off.
They wanted things from their homeland here, and it is quite a stark landscape, so they would have planted pine trees to help them feel at home and to provide some shelter, and that sort of grew into realising the potential as a forestry species and also as a potential of erosion control.
She says controlling wilding pines is extremely important to maintain native biodiversity and alpine herb fields. In Cromwell, The South Today.
Thousands of Dunedin homeowners could face soaring insurance premiums within 15 years. A new report published by government-funded Deep South Challenge assessed the risk of around 10,000 homes in Dunedin, Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. The properties lie within 1 in 100-year coastal flood zones and are likely to be hit by sea rise and more frequent storms. More than 3,000 Dunedin properties could see insurance premiums leap from $1,600 to $7,900 as sea levels potentially rise 14 centimetres. A piece of peridotite rock found in Wanaka is 2.7 billion years old, more than 5 times the age of the previously known oldest New Zealand rocks. Those previous record holders were trilobite rocks from Nelson, believed to be only 500 million years old.
A groundbreaking discovery has been made after a lengthy project which began in the last century, but is way older than that.
We knew that there were rocks there. We knew that these rocks were there from some research done in the 1980s by a student. But they hadn't been studied any further than that, and so in 2011 I began a project looking at the Earth's mantle underneath New Zealand, and I thought that would be a good place to go and collect some material. This is from the shoreline of Lake Wanaka on the western side.
Associate Professor James Scott says the find has rewritten the history books. He says it was quite an effort to get to the site, and also pretty tough to retrieve the precious stones.
So I got my father and his boat to take us across the lake, and we had a rock drill for drilling into the rock, a sort of a portable, it looks like a little chainsaw minus the blade. It's portable, and we drilled in and took away some rock fragments from the site.
Previously, the oldest rocks found on New Zealand shores were discovered near Nelson and have been dated at 500 million years old. He says they used a uranium isotope dating system to establish the age of their samples, with results showing they predate the formation of Aotearoa.
Yeah, well, some of the samples that came up yielded ages of about 2.7 billion years old, which is about 2.2 billion years older than the crust in New Zealand.
Geologists believe this ancient rock, known as a peridotite, was plucked and carried to the surface by volcanic magma about 23 million years ago. In Dunedin, the South Today.
COVID-19 is causing economic pain for Lower South Island residents. The number of people who have received the job seeker benefit has increased dramatically in the south, with Queenstown Lakes District recording a 480% jump. Neighbouring districts Central Otago, Mackenzie Country and Southland are among the 10 most affected districts in the country. Queenstown Lakes Mayor Jim Bolt says there is no denying the pandemic's effect, but the council and community response helped to cushion the blow. He says there is hope with new changes to work visa rules allowing 1,000 migrant workers in the district to return to work. A Dunedin icon is closing the book on its decades-long service. Bibliophiles will have until the 31st of December to rummage around Scribe's usually packed shelves and say their final farewells.
After 30 years, the journey for Scribe's second-hand books is coming to a close. These shelves crammed with books will soon be bare when the store is emptied at the end of December. Staff member Bill Keane has worked at Scribe's for about 12 years and says Dunedin is losing something special.
It is a Dunedin institution, it is the end of something special, but and it is a UNESCO City of Literature as well, so it's a bit of a shame to see a wonderful bookshop go down, but there are other bookshops and new businesses will start up.
Keane says the shop changed hands about 2 months ago and the new owners have made other plans.
It's not because we want to leave, it's just that, and it's such a wonderful location, relocating just really isn't a factor, and we're too old and worn out.
While he's sad to see the shop go, Keane says the response from customers has been heartening.
It's the end of something special, but that's okay. We feel very good about it, and it's been a wonderful time here, and all our locals are coming in supporting us, and if you come back in a few weeks, hopefully it'll be empty.
Keane expects to be busier than usual in this final chapter of Dunedin's literary history. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, the Dunedin City Council is to discuss reducing the number of car parks around town, and Southern Kids' music skills get a tune-up thanks to some professional musicians. Ka kite a koe nei.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here until January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
For over 100 years, Presbyterian Support has been helping people in your region through all conditions, ages and stages of life. Our Enliven and Family Work services are always there when you need them. People in your community are facing unprecedented challenges and they need your help. By making a donation to your local Presbyterian Support in South Canterbury, Otago or Southland, you'll be helping us to help people where you live. Together we can make a difference. We are people helping people.
Hoki mai anō. A proposal to remove 28 free parking spaces around Dunedin is to be considered by city councillors. At the same meeting, councillors will also discuss another plan to create new parks at the city's waterfront area near the stadium. In total, 44 new parking spaces would be created, including 7 free parks. But overall, there would be a net reduction of 28 parking spaces to make way for the changes to the bus network. The Council Subcommittee will also consider a report from staff recommending councillors make part of Ward Street near the overbridge one-way available, allowing for the creation of 35 new unrestricted angle parks. Members of the Dunedin Symphony Orchestra are touring around southern schools spreading the gift of music. With a whole collection of different instruments, the DSO hope to inspire young talent.
From trombones to trumpets to drums and more. This week, Otago schools are being treated to the eclectic sound of the Dunedin Symphony Orchestra. The DSO are touring their way around local schools performing mini concerts to pupils, hoping to inspire them into the performing arts. DSO flautist Phoebe Idris visited and performed in Silverstream School in Mosgiel recently and loved the reaction from the pupils.
So far, pretty great. There's been sing-alongs to Tūtira Mai and the Moana songs, and there's been very interested listening to the different sounds that we make, like on the glockenspiel and on the oboe and those kinds of things. So there's been a lot of interest.
Idris says the main benefit is showing pupils the variety of the orchestra.
We just want to make sure kids know these instruments are out there, that they're interesting, that we play cool music, that we get to play together, and that it's just fun to play and learn and listen.
The orchestra is due to finish their tour on Friday. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, an updated cycling facility in Queenstown proves popular, and we have a look at your midweek weather. Hei koko ake nei.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
PVC windows and doors. PVC is 90% more efficient than standard aluminium and 60% more efficient than thermally broken aluminium. It's multi-chambered, you don't get any condensation through the frame, and if you put decent glass in, you get a big difference to aluminium.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here till January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
No Mainor, welcome back. One of Queenstown's newly rebuilt mountain bike jump parks is being hailed as the best community-built facility of its kind in the world. Its opening event attracted more than 1,000 people. Queenstown Mountain Bike Club has officially opened its revamped Mini Dream area as part of its Season of Shred fundraiser. The original jump park was built around 17 years ago and was then considered ahead of its time. But riding has evolved since then, resulting in a recent upgrade. The new look arena contains beginner, intermediate, advanced and pro lines as opposed to the former single line and makes better use of the terrain. Along with the new jump park, the line's a metre-deep mulch jump has been added to provide a safer landing area, and an airbag has also been purchased to give riders another element to practice on. Fairfield school pupils were awarded recently for their dedication to a new online exercise program. The founder of Zespri Young and Health Virtual Adventure commended the pupils' efforts in keeping fit and working towards a healthier lifestyle.
Fairfield school pupils are benefiting from a new health and exercise program. Zespri Young and Healthy Virtual Adventure program founder Kim Harvey says over the past 6 weeks pupils have logged data around their health and well-being and is impressed with their efforts.
Well, we've got 4 classes at Fairfield School who have been running the challenge over the last 6 weeks. It's just about finished and they've been doing exceptionally well. They've been earning points from drinking lots of water and sleeping well and not using their devices too much when they're not at school, and eating lots of fresh fruit and veggies. So we wanted to come visit them and just kind of give them some goodies to enjoy and give them some reward for doing so well.
With their efforts, the pupils receive points which can be used in an online course which takes them on a virtual journey around the world. The school's program coordinator Amy Preedy says the course is a good way to incentivise a healthy lifestyle.
It is a fun way where they get the step counter and the target to then give them meaningful purpose to do that and be positive about being active.
In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A group dedicated to ensuring native tree species prosper will find their job a bit easier following an increase in government funding. A 2.7 billion year old piece of peridotite rock that has been found in Wanaka is more than 5 times older than the previous rock found in Nelson. And Dunedin book lovers are saying their last farewells to Scribes, a second-hand bookstore which has served local bookworms for 30 years. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we have Craig Page with us this evening. Kia ora, Craig.
Good evening, Simon. We've got a bit of follow-up to our story this morning with concerns about a number of beachfront properties throughout New Zealand really going to become insurable over the next 15 years because of climate change. We've talked to some coastal residents down here Interesting, it coincided today with the government announcing a climate change emergency for New Zealand and trying to put some measures in place there. So the report suggests about 3,100 properties in Dunedin could be affected. But some of the property owners we talked to said insurance companies are already bumping up prices, the premiums for coastal properties, and it's getting to the stage where it could end up driving them out of living in some of these areas. We also spoke to a resident in Aramoana who said they'd been worried about sea rise levels for years and sort of watched the high tide get closer and closer to their back door. So yeah, a bit of a worry out there. Interesting, an engineering consultant we spoke to said the report is a bit alarmist and we'll perhaps take some of it with a grain of salt. But yeah, some worrying times obviously for those sorts of people. Something about living on a hill, I guess, isn't there? We'll also have another look at the issue of fruit pickers for Central Otago. It's been an ongoing story for us, of course, shortage of fruit pickers, that type of thing. But we carried a story earlier in the week that said a lot of people who had been applying for these jobs weren't getting responses to, and so there were question marks about whether these jobs actually existed. The unions waded in today as well, and they've had a bit of a crack at them for not replying to the people applying for the jobs, but also the way some of these jobs are advertised. Lacks a lot of detail about hours, pay, and in some cases even where the jobs are based. So yeah, lots of questions going on there. So that will stir everyone up, no doubt. Our arts pages, we talked to Michelle Chalkland Sinclair, who owns the Artists' Room Gallery. She's branching out really with her own exhibition of some spectacular photographs of Dunedin. Very nice. She only started photography as a bit of a hobby, but became a passion for her, and yeah, she's pretty good at it, looking at some of these photos, so that's well worth a look. And sports, we've only just got over the Super Rugby, but tomorrow morning they'll be naming all their new Super Rugby squads for next year, of course. But I think at 7 a.m. they're all unveiled. It's going to be interesting to see if the Tony Brown factors are going to be able to drag a few stars back down this way to play for the Highlanders. Yeah, and on the coaching front, the Highlanders named today Shane Christie as the missing piece in their coaching setup as well. He's going to take care of the defence. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's in that Highlanders squad tomorrow morning.
Great, Craig. Thank you.
Thank you.
Time now for looks at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, taken of some fantastic artwork at the back of Umbrellos in North Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a strong westerly airflow brings cloud and showers to most of the island tomorrow and Friday, but the east coast should be mostly fine. In the northwest, Westport and Greymouth receive scattered showers and 16 degrees. It's sunny up top, Nelson and Blenheim enjoying a fine 22 and 21 degrees respectively. Across to the northeast, it's sunny here too, getting slightly warmer as we track down the coast, 19, 20 and 21 degrees for Kaikoura, Christchurch and Ashburton. To the southern towns, strong westerlies blow across this region, 15 degrees for all accompanies cloud in the Catlins and Balclutha, and a few showers for Lumsden and Gore. Those strong westerlies continue up the island a bit, where it's much the same, carrying showers and 15 degrees for Te Anau and cloud and 17 for all remaining Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra. And the winds reach further north still. It's dry up here though, fine and 18 degrees for Twizel and Omarama, some high cloud on the coast, 19 for Oamaru and 21 for Timaru. And in Dunedin, it's fine tonight with an overnight low of 12. Sunny periods and high clouds tomorrow as strong gusty westerly winds decrease from late afternoon, bring with them a high of 16 and a low of 11. Those winds are moderate by Friday, which sees cloud and showers late morning and again in the afternoon, a high of 16 and a low of 9. And tonight to be inside in Invercargill with showers and westerly gales and an overnight low of 9. Those showers and gales continue tomorrow on 15 and 9 degrees and remain till Friday when the winds begin to subside, reaching a high of 14 and a low of 9 degrees again. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kita anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.